I think once the performer goes outside of what you think of as the normal viewing area on a stage, that then the audience immediately kind of doesn't know what's really going to happen next. For me, it sets up a kind of an exciting atmosphere. Why does a band set up in a certain way, and why did they just move, and what it does to the listening experience if there's a musician behind you instead of in front of you, or moving from one side to another or facing a different way, what that actually does to the sonic experience. For the performer, I think it creates a kind of an opening that's very similar to the opening you feel when you improvise. So then you realize you also have kind of an opportunity to improvise with your body and movement. Well, for this concert I was going to play the drums, so there either wouldn't be a conductor or I would have to conduct. So I decided to kind of set up the drums with my back towards the audience, facing the band. So I'd never done that before. I wasn't sure if it was going to work sonically or visually, but I thought it was worth a try. So when I'm composing for musicians who improvise, it's always a balance of trying to figure out what I definitely want out of a piece and how to get that, and also where can I relinquish control and let the band surprise me and let them decide what's going to happen with the piece. For me, the program couldn't come together until I knew the band and actually as much as I could about each individual in the band. I really tried to prepare this music and get the right music that would be for these specific players, that it would be a challenge for them, but that they would be able to enjoy it. So when Jacques asked me to do this project with ONJ, I first went to a concert, heard them live, I listened to records. I knew some of the guys already, but I emailed everybody with some questions to try to find out what their favorite music was, what are some things that they like to do, what are some things they don't like to do. Because of this specific project, I asked them, do they like to move? Would they be against moving around? And then I brought some music in to a rehearsal, and then that was the most helpful thing, to actually have them hear them play some of this music. And some of that music, then I realized, oh, that's not quite right, and I brought in some new music. If I were to do this with a different band other than ONJ, the music would be very different. Theo Bleckmann's very, very special. When I introduce him, instead of saying like on voice as Theo Bleckmann, I just say, here's Theo Bleckmann. He has his own individual style. He brings so much variety. He has such a depth. He can be a kind of a normal singer and sing music with words. He can sing music without words. He can make sounds. He's great with movement and any kind of acting type of thing, which this event needed. He was kind of the perfect collaborator. I would say, melody is definitely one of the most important things that I try to concentrate on as a composer, so that the listener kind of has a way to get into the music and they can participate. If this melody repeats, if you use repetition in that way, that helps the listener even more, because after they hear a melody once or twice, they start to recognize it. And if they hear it maybe even more than that, they might be able to even sing along in their head, or maybe even just sing along. Another word for repetition for me would be groove. You're setting up a situation that someone will want to move or dance. Maybe not actually dance, maybe they're just dancing inside. The repetition creates this feeling that they know what's happening and they can kind of get into it in a physical way.